All right, I'm about to go over this breakdown of how you can add another stream of income debt-free. I'm gonna go over this breakdown how you can add another stream of income debt-free. Copy. Let me know if y'all got that. Hold on, here we go right here. Here we go. I know sometimes people think that, we think that the jobs is standing for just over broke, right? When you look at job, what does job stand for? Just over broke. But everybody has a job. Everybody has a job. The craziest thing that you might hear today that you might not believe, but you should just double check, is the fact that your employer pays you to pay them. The employer pays the employee to pay them. Make sense or no? Make sense or no? Let me know in the chat. Make sense or no? Your employer is paying you to pay them. Make sense or no? Let me know. I'm gonna share this screen with y'all. I'm gonna do my best, so let me know. I got my other device over here so I can see the comments, okay? Let me know if at any time it gets a little weird. But you may say a job stands for just over broke. Just over broke. Why? Because you get a job, you get the money, and you have bills. The more you make, the more increase you get within your job, the more bills you accumulate. So I can understand why somebody would say a job stands for just over broke. It makes sense that way. But I want you to realize a hidden secret, because there's a lot of truth in the movies and a lot of lies in the news. There's things that you've been told that are lies. You've been told lies that you believe are true. Which lies have you been told that you believe are true? The craziest thing is that you don't believe something because you think it's true, right? You think it's true because you believe it. Think about it. You think it's true because you believe it, but you haven't actually made claim or made sure that it was actually true. So one of the lies that you've been told is that you have to go out and get a job. Well, that's one of the lies you've been told. Another lie, if you're in America, is about the American dream. Now, what is actually a job? A job is a guide. When you go to work and you get money and you go to work again and you get work, it starts to become tiresome to you, right? At first, you go get the job because it was amazing. You needed the money. When you first get the job, you tell everybody about the job. After like 3 months, you're ready to leave the job. You hate the job. The job is getting on your nerve. Now, that's fine. That's fine. But the reason why you get upset is because you are meant to create. You're a creator. God created you as a creator. This is why everything you see around us has been created, right? It's been what people call artificial, but it's actually official to a human, right? This is our job. Our job is to create. But we forget that a job really is a guide. So with your job, understand it comes with two factors of an employer and an employee. Which one are you, employee or employer? Either way is fine. Don't get caught up. Like, a job is a stepping stone, but if you stay stoned, you get stepped upon. So sometimes people have these jobs and they stay at the job too long and they feel like they're getting stepped upon. They feel like they're being overworked and underpaid. I didn't sign up for this. It's too much. But that's because you're not understanding that a job is a guide. Somebody put guide in the chat. Put guide in the chat. A job is a guide. Now, first of all, you got to understand the principles of it. When we say guide, what are you doing with a guide? You're taking a person step by step. You're giving a person a layout, a blueprint, step by step. When you think about the employer hires the employee to pay them. You may not believe that's true. You may say, oh, that's not accurate. But here's why it's accurate. When you are the employee, you're contracted to go do a job. The job that you do produces income. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hired. Right? The employer can't pay you unless they make money, unless they collect cash. The way that they collect the cash is by utilizing you. What's the other lie that we've been told? There's multiple lies, but what's another lie that we've been told? We've been told that time is money. So we've been told that time is money. So therefore, does that look like it's a little leaning to the side? A little leaning to the side. You've been told that time is money. So therefore, you are trading your time for money. Think about it. The employer has hired the employee to pay them. So you're paying them with your time. Your time produces results. Now, your time may be depending on your role and your position at the job. But let me just show you that there's an easier way to collect the cash. There's an easier way to collect the cash. Being that you learn from a job. Anytime you get a job, you should be learning from your job. So it's a guide. So what I like to do is I like to create guide books, known as G-books. Some of y'all know it as ebooks. See, the thing about selling an ebook, you're selling one thing, which is cool. It could be a system, it could be a guide, but there's a better way to do it. I sell guidebooks, but I sell bundles. Bundles. So this is a way to still get the same thing. Remember, you need a job. The only thing is, that's what they say, you need a job. But that's not what you actually need. It's not that you need to get a job. You need to give a job. You need to give a job, right? So we want you to be able to give a job. The G book is giving a job. Once again, the employer hires the employee to work for them to pay them. When you go and you get your VA, why are you getting a VA? You're getting a VA because you want a VA to help you bring in income. So you pay the VA to bring you money. That's essentially what's happening here, right? So I want to help you increase your cash flow, and I want to help you increase it fast. And we talk about these guidebooks, but these are digital products. So it's not about getting a job, it's about giving a job. So if the job is a guide and you create guidebooks, who do you give the guide to implement? The employer. Okay, what's the employer? The person who buys the ebook, the G-book, the bundle. Why? Because the person who's the employee is the implementer. The person who does the thing, the person who creates, the person who does what has been created. Right? So if I'm the person who creates the idea and I hire somebody, the person I hire is just to implement the idea. So with the G-book, you're the employer. Now what you want to do is you want to be able to find employees. Now your employees will be the ones that implement the steps in the G-book. Make sense? You'll be the ones that implement the steps in the G-book. The job, the same thing. It's a job. You got an employer. The employer gives the job to the employee and they implement the steps of the job. The person who created the G-book, you're the employer, you give the employee, which is the purchaser, a job to implement the steps. Make sense? If it makes sense, put make sense in the chat. I don't want to keep going if you're lost. Put make sense in the chat if it makes sense. So let me show you how it works. So I sold the G-books for $197. This was a bundle. So I have about 4 other books, other materials inside the bundle, and it's all step by step. Okay? It's all step by step. It's all step by step. So when you think about it, how long would it take you to acquire $197 at your job? I just been told minimum wage today is $16. Yeah, $16. So I just learned this today. Somebody told me minimum wage is $16. When I was working in the corporate field like 5 years ago, I think minimum wage was like 10, 11. So that's pretty good increase. But let's just say we bumped them up a little bit. Let's say your wage every hour was $50. That's probably good, right? Minimum wage is 15, 16. To have 50, that's like damn near triple, right? So you got triple of what minimum wage is. So it's going to take you, let's just say you get 50 per hour. It's going to take you 4 hours to make this 197. It takes you 4 hours to make this 197. But if you take the same principle, understanding the job, which is connected to the employer owns the job is given to the employee. The employee's role is to make sure they go step by step to complete the job. What you can bypass some of this and you can make G-books, guidebooks, where you're the employer and you hire the employee to pay you, because that's what the employer is doing with the job. They're hiring employees to pay them. They go and do work that bring back money. You get a little bit of portion, but I get the main portion. Okay, cool. Same thing works here. You got the G-book. You hire an employee. The employee is the person who purchased the book. Why? Because they carry the same principle. The purpose of the employee at the job is to implement the job, implement the roles, the steps to complete the job. The person who's the employee, which is the purchaser of the guidebook, their role is to implement the guide. They're supposed to take step by step within the guide and complete the idea of the guide. Make sense? Make sense? So the same time that I'm charging $197 for this guidebook, this is a bundle. I'm charging $197 for it. This person is taking 4 hours to get $197. I got $197 in 10 seconds. All they did was get a download. So which one is working higher, right? So when they say you got to get a job, it's not about getting a job. Because if I'm the person that's the employee and I go get a job, it takes me 4 hours to get $197. If I'm the person that buys the book, it's going to take me a couple days to even implement the thing so I can even duplicate that to get $197. Make sense? So it's not that you need to go get a job. It's that you need to go give a job. You need to be the one giving the job. This is why delegation is important. This is why communication is important. This is why you speaking, public speaking is important. This is why you creating multiple streams of income is important. So if you are the person who has the guidebook and you're the employer, you're the person giving the job. The employee is the person that purchases it. They implement the thing. They get the job. I mean, they get step by step to get the thing, right? So now, okay, cool. $197. I made that in 10 seconds. But guess what? This is how powerful it is. So the employer doesn't just have you as an employee. They got somebody else. 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 These are called co-workers. These are called co-workers. Now, remember, the whole purpose is not to go out and get a job. It's to go out and give a job. That's your purpose, to give a job. Be creative enough to give a job. Be a boss. Build an opportunity, serving society. Build the job, give it to somebody. A G-book is just a job in this day and age, but it's a faster way to get paid, a faster way to move, a faster way to work. Nowadays, you learn more online and you learn more in life than you did at school. Let's just be honest here. Okay, so if I'm getting $197 in 10 seconds and this is digital and we got all of these coworkers, guess what? The same thing applies. When I'm offering my G-book, I'm offering it to multiple people. So there's multiple people buying this G-book all at one time. All at one time. I want y'all to do the math. I want you to do the math. Do the math. Let the math for you today. So what I did is I sold this same G-book, $197, sold it to 50 people for $197. $197, sold it to 50 people, $197 in 10 seconds. Literally, I dropped the link. I put a link in the chat. I put a link in the chat. When I put a link in the chat, everybody who was in the room purchased the link. Everybody who was in the room, they clicked the link, they purchased the product. Because they understood they could follow the same model. But what I did was I was selling a Magic Capital bundle. Right? This is one of my partners created. It's a Magic Capital bundle. The Magic Capital bundle is teaching you how to get access to $250,000 faster than your job could pay you, quicker than you can save it. This is access to $250,000. What could you do with access of $250,000? What can you do with access of $250,000? So understanding you could build businesses. You could pretty much put people in a position of power to work for you, right? You can help other people. You can do things for your family. But this is debt. So we want to make sure we use and leverage debt in a way that doesn't come back as bad debt, good debt. So we create jobs. I understand it may stand for just over broke, but that's what they want to teach you. That's a lie you've been told. Understand, wake up to the truth. The job is a guide. You're supposed to go to the job and you're supposed to learn the workings of the job. Learn the system, how they put things together. When I used to do the graphics for Netflix and Roku, I had to learn the system. One day they sat me down. They said, hey bro, can you please make us a pitch deck? I want you to do the graphics. You do such a great job on the graphics. Please, I love your personality. I love who you are. I love how you help the culture. I want you to build the, do the pitch deck for us. I did the pitch deck for them. They make $5 million. This company was making $5 million. It was only 8 employees. My salary was $35,000 and I didn't even take home $35,000. I had 7 other employees. 7 other colleagues. So if I had 7 other colleagues, they'd make $5 million. I want you just to understand. Even if we all made $50,000, it still doesn't add up to $5 million. Which means by default, these people who help bring in the money only get a portion of the money. So when you go get your check, you get a check enough for one person. The issue with you is that you take that one check that's enough for one person and you split it with 2, 3, 4 other people. You got a significant other. You got children. You got family that depend on you. And then you're looking at your check like, damn, I don't got nothing in it. Oh man, it's not what I wanted. You got to become a person that can work higher. You got to become a person that can work higher. See, all of the tools and stuff is right in front of our face. That's why they say they're going to hire you. When they tell you that they're going to hire you, they're going to elevate your position. But if they elevate your position, guess what they do? Their positions get elevated. When y'all get mad about network marketing and you think it's some scam, then that's your own thing. But I know we got trauma around that. But we're changing that now. So you got to work higher. Your job is to hire people. You need to hire the employee. The employee's role is to implement the role. If you create guidebooks, step by step, showing a person how to create funds, how to create opportunity, how to clean credit. So what we did in this Magic Capital Bundle, we gave them an opportunity to get funded, $250,000. Not only for themselves to get funded, but we taught them how to get other people funded, $250,000, $250,000. If you can do this, you can make a lot of money. But it's not about making money. It's about helping people, making impact. You just collect money based upon the impact. Money is a receipt for the value that you provide. So the same amount of time it's taking one of these employees to make equivalent of $197 on the clock, it took me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Sold the ebook, they got it, they purchased, they put the numbers in, and they got it. Boom. They got the download right to their phone. Done. I already got the $91.97 in my pocket. Done. I wish I could share my screen. In fact, I got to take photos and send it to my device and let y'all just see it. But if y'all come to the class, you'll be able to see it. So not only did I make $197 in 10 seconds, what did I tell you about all your colleagues? What did I tell you about all your colleagues right here? Well, I sold not only to one person, I sold to 50 people all at once. There was 100 people in the room, 50 people bought. That's an anomaly, okay? I'm not going to say every time you go sell, you're going to make a 50% split. I'm just saying the information was so valuable. It was literally a step-by-step guide that shows you how to get access to $250,000 in business capital. That's how good it has to be. It has to literally be a step-by-step process. Then what you want to do is you want to sell it. You're selling it to the employee. The employee is the person that implements the idea. When I sold it to 50 people, I made a profit. And listen to what I just said, a profit of $9,850. Would you like an extra $9,850? Like, would you like an extra $9,000? Why was it an extra $9,000? It was an extra $9,000 because it didn't cost me any money. See, with the job, it's going to cost you money because now you got to rent out the space. Now you got to go and pay that rent, and now you got to pay the employees and do all that other stuff. When you could just get the guidebooks, you don't have to pay the employee anything except for the gift of giving them the benefit to do what you're doing. The gift of being able to increase their income. The gift of being able to clean their credit. The gift of being able to create beautiful relationships. The gift of being able to help them see that they can create beautiful experiences. The gift of being able to help them travel hack. The gift of giving something that's valuable. So what else is valuable? Your time. So you're spending 4 hours to get $197 that actually gets taxed when I'm over here dropping a guidebook. Even if me and my partner split that 50-50, even if we split it 50-50, we still done made $4,000, almost $5,000 each off of 10 seconds. And I'm not saying that you can't do this. I'm saying you could do this. But what else is in your way? Other lies that you've been told that you believe is true. The only reason why you believe the lie is true is because you believe it. If you don't believe it, understand you won't actually partake in it. But the other thing that you believe in is time is money. So you partake in it. So these people, no disrespect, not saying this is you or anything, but what I'm expressing is that some people take advantage of the fact that the employee mindset is time is money. Some people, they say time is money. That's a little clock. I can't see it, but that's a clock. Some people say time is money. If you believe time is money, you probably are not well off. You're probably living paycheck to paycheck. In some cases, you might say time is money. You might be good. You might be good. So don't take it the wrong way. But if you look here on the other side, let me show you on the other side of the screen. Okay, let me show you the other side of the screen right now. Put y'all on game right here. You believe that time is money. Time is not money. Time is infinitely. Well, first of all, time is infinitely greater than money. But the issue with time is that it's limited. When we know time is money, see, you care more about money. I care more about time. You care more about money, so you're willing to give up your time to get money. I care more about time, so I'm willing to give up my money to get my time. Make sense? Make sense? I want you to be on this side. I want you to care more about your time, so you give up money to get your time. When you order Uber Eats, you care more about your time. You say, look, I don't feel like going to do all that other stuff extra. I'll pay you. Just bring my stuff. I'll pay you. Make sure it's good to eat. I'll pay you. So you want to shift your focus from being about money and being about time. Your time is valuable. I don't want to have to clean my whole house. What's the point of that when I can hire somebody else who might need the money more than I do? Hey, clean the house. All right, cool. Do a good job. All right, let me tip you. Bam. So time is money also applies to the bank. You put your money into the bank because you believe that time is money. I want you to stop doing that. The bank understands that time is not money. See, but you've been told to put your money in a bank. See, the purpose of your money being in a bank is for you to move your money. But if you put your money in a bank and you leave it in a bank, you lose your money. I got an account that I had back in 2000 and something, right? Early 2000. This is when my mom passed away. My mom passed away and, she left us a little change, a little something. It wasn't a lot. And I had enough to put in a CD account. Basically like a few $1,000s, right? A few $1,000s. And so my grandmother opened up a bank account. Within school, I was able to make some money, collect some cash, do some things. It wasn't a lot, about like $5,000 or so, And then I had an opportunity to go play basketball overseas. When I wanted to go play basketball overseas, I gave my money to my friend who I thought she was gonna set these things up for me. Long story short, she frauded me, right? She took my money, she scammed me. I looked her up online and I was wondering where she was at because she wasn't responding to me. And when I looked her up, she was arrested 2 days prior to me looking her up. So no wonder why she wasn't contacting me because she was probably on the run for her life at that time. So I realized, damn, I got scammed. All right, cool. I got to move on. That changed my trajectory. It changed my way of thinking. But I want to change your way of thinking so you don't get scammed. I don't want you to be scammed. Somebody put scam in the chat. When you look at scam, some of your friends, some of your family say, why are you going to those classes? Why are you joining those mentorships? Why are you giving those people your money? Because they think it's a scam. But that's because they're still confused about money. I don't want you to be confused about money. I want you to see this differently. Every $1 that you put into the bank account, every $1 you put into the bank can 10x, legally 10x your money, okay? The bank will legally 10x your money. So every $1 you put into the bank will legally 10x your money. What does that mean? This is the same people that when you go get a loan, they're loaning you back your money. Think about it. And this is why they're also charging you. So you think about it. It's your money. You put your money in an account, and when you want to take your money out, they charge you. Yeah, they do. Because you think you need to put your money in there. You just need to have your money flow through the bank. When you think about where these terms come from, the bank, the river bank, the flow of money, currency, the flow, right? You're supposed to put your money in the bank to move the money. So the bank starts to look at like, oh, you owe the bank. So the bank is treating you like what? What did we say? The employee. The bank is treating you like the employee. The bank is the employer. They say, hey, give me the money. The purpose of the employer is to find people or hire people who can give them the money. Do the task that performs to give them the money. When I used to do my sales jobs, I brought in a lot of the money. I took home a few percentage on commission. How many of you are bringing in a lot of money for your company and taking a little bit on commission? When I did the graphics for Netflix and Roku, I told you I did the pitch deck. I created a pitch deck for them. They made $5 million. My salary was $35,000. What's $35,000 compared to $5 million? Like, come on, let's be real here. So please understand that you've been trained to be what's against you, to be for what's against you and against what's for you. And putting your money in a bank and leaving it there is against what's for you. Why? Because the longer you leave it in there, the more it depreciates. Right now, inflation is around 2.6. It could be anywhere from 1.6 to 2.6 right now, right? It could be fluctuated. The issue with that is if you look back 10 years ago, the dollar used to be greater than what it is now. And now it's the power of the dollar is only at 68%. So now that means that the things you used to be able to buy for $1 is now up like $1.40, $1.50. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you used to buy those potato chips, like the 25-cent bag of chips, that's now 50 cents. Right? That's a whole 100% increase. Like remember the bag that used to be 50 cents is now like $3 or $1.50. You know the ones that used to be $1, it's like now $5. Like that's how it goes. But you go to the bank, you give your money to the bank 10x's your money, and then the bank turns around and gives you a loan with your money. I said $1 equals 10, but if you put $100 in there, what you mean? What you think that equals? So they give you out a loan, but guess what? I want you to be familiar with something. If they make $10 off your $1, guess what? Every I'll say this way. Every $1 of debt, that's bad debt. I'm talking about bad debt. Every $1 of bad debt is the equivalent of $9. Every $1 of bad debt is an equivalent of $9. Okay? I'll say it again. Every $1 of debt is an equivalent of $9. It works the same way. Every time you put $1 in the bank, they could 10x your money. So when you ask for your money back, they might give you a hard time because they don't have your money, because they do something that we do, is they put your money in the IULs. Okay? They put your money in the IUL policies. They put your money into life insurance policy. Remember, they hired you as the employer. You are the one that's implementing their idea. The banking system said, you know what? Let's hire people to work with us. We're going to go out there and we're going to ask people to give us money. When they give us money, we're going to invest it. We're going to give them back 0.2%. I got that CD account that I told you I had. I got $97 in it. It hasn't moved at all since I drained my account back in the early 2000s to give all my money to this woman. And it's still at $97. In my mind, I just said, let me just leave a couple dollars in it just in case. It's still at $97. How many years later? Over 10. Almost over 10. Okay? So they take your money, they put it in an IUL policy. Why would they do that? Because think about what I just said. They're 10xing your money. So if you could, why don't you cut out the bank and you 10x your money? Why don't you let the bank be your employer? Be your employee. You be the employer of the bank. I want you to move my money. I got to Zelle my people. I want you to move my money for me. All right, cool. The bank go and move your money for it. But don't keep your bank in there. It's only up to $250 insured anyway. Okay? So don't leave your money in there. You're getting big money. Y'all get into the big bags. Don't be leaving your money in the bank. Put it in the IUL policy. It's so crazy to me because 5 years ago, I couldn't save $500. But to be able to save $50,000 in 1 year and throw it in my life insurance policy, that's crazy. To be able to do it again, that's crazy. Coming from where I'm coming from, that's crazy. Being able to save and invest $50,000. So you don't want to save and invest your time into the bank because it's not going to work out. So when you think about it, I don't even have to pay my insurance with my own money. I have a G book. The G-Book 197, I sell it in 10 seconds. Got $9,000. Take that same $9,000, that's going to my payments for my IUL. During my policies, I'm a max fund it. When I max fund my policy, guess what? I get cash value. When I get the cash value, I can pull the cash value out and I can go invest it into other assets, such as real estate. I'm talking about commercial. I'm talking about other things such as buying software, building other businesses up, so that way you can go out there and create businesses, right? And give people jobs. So I can use my money in my IUL policy to create more jobs. This is something that you can do. The more jobs you create, the better you can get as far as finances goes. Now, if you stay at this realm, you might just be, paycheck to paycheck your whole life. Don't get me wrong. I know when I first started getting big money, and it's still little money, it ain't gonna front. The money that I get is still little money because I know people now that got big money, but my money's little. So when I first started getting some big little money, like I was still living paycheck to paycheck, But after a while, I realized I can't keep doing that. I gotta have a new mindset, a mailbox millionaire mindset. This process, the mailbox millionaire banking, using the IUL policies, being able to add money into my policy without spending my own earned income. This is just easy money coming in. I'm being able to fund my policy and get access to things that I never thought I could get access to. The reason why I'm saying this is because you can do it too. But you have to change your mind. It's not working harder. It's about working higher. See, I understand if you got a job right now, please just understand your job is just a guide. Your job is a guide to guide you to get you where you want to be. But you have to look at the system and the way that they use the guide. That's what I did. And I realized it was the same thing. The person who's purchasing from you is the employee. The role of the employee is to implement the idea. The role of the employer is to use the imagination to communicate the idea. So, okay, cool. I'll use my imagination to communicate the idea based upon the things that I've learned. You can do the same. Any type of information that you've ever learned and applied and it worked, you can offer it to other people because there are other people doing the same things that you were doing back when you were at your level 1. All right? So don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. If this information was valuable for you, put something in the chat. If this information was valuable for you, put something in the chat. I'm getting ready to close up. I do want to make an offer to everybody. Listen, I want to say this. If you want to join the debt-free masterclass where we show you how to build wealth debt-free, we show you how to actually get assets that you can invest into that would invest into you. Basically, do it like this. When you put money into your account, your money is growing. See, when you put money into your bank account, your money's really not growing. You're actually losing value because the amount of compound interest that you have, guess what? The bank is actually, well, you're actually losing money based upon inflation. So the bank is holding your money, and while the bank is holding your money, you're just losing money. All right, so I want you to be able to see difficulty differently. I want you to be able to see that these things in life are just helping you. The job is not something to be upset about. The job is not something to be mad about. The job is teaching you something. What could it teach you? It's guiding you. It's showing you the blueprint. As a person, you must hire other people who was at your level. See, when you're at your level 2 right now, don't compare yourself to the person that's at level 10. See, guess what? You can serve somebody that's at level 1. Most importantly, you can serve somebody that's at a level 0. Somebody that hasn't even started yet. Okay? Somebody that hasn't even started yet. So don't think that you're too far away from making a lot of money. You are really right there, making the money that you want to make. But you have to also see the work that's in front of you. Literally, the same amount of time, the same amount of money, right, was made in 10 seconds versus 4 hours. You spent a lot of time on that job. It took you 4 hours to make 197. I made a guidebook that took me about 4 hours to make. And in fact, this book, I have over 100 digital assets. And I also now, I contract out with other people and they make guides with me and then I sell their products. So if you already have a product, let me look at it. Let me see how we could work and maybe I can help you sell your product. That's what we're doing. So once again, if I made $9,000 in 10 seconds, literally, what can you make? You probably could make way more than I did. So don't hold yourself hostage. I'm telling you right now, when I talk about this just over broke, like a job stands for just over broke, but it was really a guide. It showed me something. It showed me that if you hire an employee, the employee will pay you. So when the employee pays you, guess what? You get paid. So I have this G-book. The G-book costs $197. I sold this G-book and I sold it to multiple people at once. It cost $197. 50 people purchased it. 50 people purchased it. That's $9,000. So it took that person 4 hours to make $197. It took me 10 seconds to make $9,000. Like, I'm not saying that you can't do this. I'm telling you that you can. That's the whole point of me showing you this. I'm not saying you have to do it with me. I'm saying just do it. Just do it. Time is not money. Time is a limited resources. Money is unlimited. You can't trade your time for money. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. All right, sometimes it does. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it does. You gotta do a little earned income here and there. You gotta get on some calls. You gotta do some work. Yeah, cool. But what I'm saying is create something that you can sell on time, over time, and get paid for that one thing you created versus having to sell your time for money at a slower rate, in a lower rate. All right, that's it for today. We got a debt-free summit. Text me the word summit if you want to get access to it. Starting tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 7:45 to be exact. So if you want to get access to the summit, text me. 646-787-0689, where we're showing you how to use the life insurance policy so that way you can get extra capital. We're showing you how to create multiple streams of income from one thing, from one acquisition, from one business, from one idea. We're showing you how you can actually change it and give yourself a different perspective of life. Remember, the role is not for you to get a job. It's for you to give a job. You have to give out jobs. All right. And that's going to be the way for you to expand your streams of income. You're going to get paid a lot. I'm sending you all a lot of love. I appreciate each and every one of you. Peace, love, and beautiful energy. Go out there and do that thing. Peace.